The attraction issue. There is nothing more tricky about dating than what we call the attraction conundrum. Now here's the honest to goodness truth. No matter how selective we might be as women about looks, nothing compares to the way it is for a guy. And the truth of it is, for a guy, he simply has to be attracted or nothing's going to happen. It's just biological. There's nothing fair about dating. It's just the way guys are wired. We call it the boing factor, okay? If the guy is not attracted, nothing's going to happen. And no woman wants to be with a guy who isn't inspired. So, my sister and I talk about it this way. We only have a shot with the guy who thinks we're hot. So if you're a woman, I want you to pay particular attention to the guys who are already hot for you. You actually have a shot with that group of men. Now the good news for us girls is that we do have the ability to develop attraction over time. There's a term for it. We actually call it the Adam Sandler effect. My friend and colleague Allison Armstrong coined that term, and I'm not sure if Adam knows that we talk about him that way, but I remember the first time I saw Adam Sandler in a movie. It was 50 First Dates. If you haven't seen the movie, put it on your list. I've seen it a dozen times, and I can't wait to see it again. In the beginning of the movie, I'm thinking, he's the main guy, he's not even cute. By the end of that movie, I'm telling you, any woman who would not sail off on that sailboat with that guy ought to have her head examined. We have the ability to develop attraction over time for a man. I will say that when I've asked women that question, have you ever met a guy that you were not attracted to, you got to know him, and before you know it, he became adorable and he actually became dateable? 85% of women will say yes to that question. When I ask that question to men, it's like less than 5%. It's the biggest distinction between how men date and how women date. So ladies, we are living in an order it up society, and we think that we can have it like Burger King out there in the world. I want him to be tall, and I want him to have no beard, and I want him to have a full head of hair, and I want him to have a Harvard degree. Well, it's just, if you're dating that way, you're probably not succeeding. So what you want to do is, especially with regard to attraction, the guys who are interested in you, who are knocking on your door, the guys who are already like into you, you got a shot with that guy. Get out on date number 2. Get out on date number 3, which is where that bonding thing begins to happen. If you're not doing dating that way yet, my challenge to you is start dating that way. Give the guys who are hot for you a second date and the third date. See what happens. You may be surprised. You may discover that all along your picker's been a little bit off. So play with this thing called the attraction conundrum, and don't get mad because I didn't make up the rules. It's just this way by design, that men and women are different in the way we are about attraction.